Civil War was so fascinating, so horrible. It was so horrible. I said, this is something that could have been negotiated.
The year is just in its second month, but Donald Trump's courtroom and campaign calendar have already delivered some memorable moments. Mediaite presents Donald Trump's wild start to 2024. At number 12, Trump shows off his moves during a private cheerleading performance. At number 11, after a photo showed weird red marks on his hands, Trump blames it on the bots.
There was this moment about the hands. Remember the bloodied hands? Our reporter Mark Meredith asked him about them today.
Hey, how's your hand? Is it better? It looks like it's better now.
My hand?
Yeah, remember what happened the other day?
What was wrong with it?
You didn't see the photos coming out of Trump Tower?
No.
It was okay.
What was wrong with it?
The other one. Yeah. Okay. You don't want to tell us what happened with the hand?
Nothing. Maybe it's AI.
At number 10, Trump pushes the conspiracy theory that Barack Obama is still secretly the president.
But every time I interchange Barack Hussein Obama, remember Rush Limbaugh? He'd go, Barack Hussein Obama. I wonder what he was getting at. But every time I do interchanging, we do a little interchanging, they say, he doesn't know who the president is. He thinks it's Barack Obama. I say, no, but I think Barack Obama has a lot to do with running the country right now, and we can't let that happen. He has a lot to do with it.
At number 9, Trump stops his speech to get medical assistance for someone at his rally.
And I think they're trying to get out. Medical? Okay? Yeah, medical, please. Are they okay? Yeah. Please, go ahead. Doctor in the house, thank you. No, it's just, we don't want to see anybody. Even the other side, we don't want to see them hurt. Even the other side.
At number 8, a protester is kicked out of a rally at Trump's request.
Until I got, who is this? Is he a friend? You can get him out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go ahead, you can throw him out. Well, now we know that politics is getting serious, so now we know we're getting serious. Now, he's just a disturbed person. And a lot of those guys, by the way, are paid by Soros and these people. You know that. They're troublemakers. A lot of those people are paid.
At number 7, Tim Scott quits the race and throws his support behind Trump. For this?
Two great senators, which is hard. I mean, did you ever think that she actually appointed you, Tim? And think of it, appointed, and you're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician. That's why he's a great politician.
At number 6, Trump tries to play down his Dictator For a Day comments.
You know, it's interesting. I did a show, Sean Hannity. Did you ever hear of him? He's a very nice man. And he said, essentially, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? Tell me. I think he was trying to give me a nicer question than maybe you guys would. He meant it very well. I said, I'm going to be a dictator for one day. We're going to do two things. The border, we're going to make it so tight you can't get in unless you come in legally. And the other is energy. We're going to drill, baby, drill. After that, I'm not going to be a dictator. After that, I'm not going to be a dictator. So
you weren't saying that if the
and the press picks it up. So I said, I'm going to be a dictator for one day. They cut it. They go, I'm going to be a dictator. But they cut the rest of the sentence. No.
At number 5, Trump promises the largest deportation operation in America if he's elected again.
Every day, Biden's extremist open borders agenda is destroying innocent lives. Last month in Texas, a savage illegal alien monster was charged with brutally murdering a 16-year-old Texas high school cheerleader, murdered her. And just recently, a vicious illegal alien criminal who was wanted for murder all over the planet, wanted. Everybody knew this person, not a good person, was discovered living as a fugitive right here in Las Vegas. Isn't that nice? We have no choice. Within moments of my inauguration, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in America. No choice.
At number 4, Trump says he'd cancel intelligence briefings for President Biden if he takes back the Oval Office.
Traditionally, former presidents would get access to intelligence briefings. Biden canceled access to you in 2021. I'm curious, though, if you end up being the Republican nominee like things are leaning right now, would you expect intelligence briefings as the Republican nominee?
I would not give him intelligence briefings because I don't believe he's competent. So I would cancel for him because I don't believe he's competent.
At number 3, Trump claims he could have negotiated the Civil War.
Civil War was so fascinating, so horrible. It was so horrible. I said, this is something that could have been negotiated. You know, it was just for all those people to die, and they died viciously. That was a vicious, vicious war. Abraham Lincoln, of course, if you negotiated it, you probably wouldn't even know who Abraham Lincoln was. He would have been president, but he would have been president. He wouldn't have been the Abraham Lincoln. Would have been different, but that would have been okay. It would have been a thing that, and I know it very well. I know the whole process that they went through, and they just couldn't get along. And that would have been something that could have been negotiated, and they wouldn't have had that problem. But it was a hell of a time.
At number 2, after losing in court for defaming E. Jean Carroll, he defames her more.
Carroll, also the defamation case, the additional penalty this week.
That's a ridiculous case. That case is a ridiculous case. We're appealing it. It is. She didn't know anything about me. She didn't know when it happened. There was nothing. People are looking at that case. It's a disgrace. We're appealing that case. We had a very hostile judge. We're appealing that case. It's a ridiculous case.
And finally, number 1, Trump makes the argument for total presidential immunity.
On immunity, very simple. If a president of the United States does not have immunity, he'll be totally ineffective because he won't be able to do anything, because it will mean he'll be prosecuted, strongly prosecuted perhaps, as soon as he leaves office by the opposing party. So a president of the United States, I'm not talking just me, I'm talking any president has to have immunity. As an example, Biden could come out and you could get him on the border, you could get him on what happened in Afghanistan, a horrible, most embarrassing moment in the history of this country. You could get him on a lot of different things. You could get him taking cash from countries. You could get him on the prosecutor not prosecuting his son or the company or whoever it was, Burisma, in Ukraine. You could get him on that, where it was a quid pro quo, if you remember that. If they don't drop the prosecutor, we're not giving them $1 billion of U.S. funds. If you don't have immunity, you can, you won't be making any decisions. So you have to have it.
A little criminal trial, or even a bunch of them, won't get in the way of Donald Trump while he runs to retake the White House. For more moments like these, subscribe to Mediaite on YouTube.